Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is we have already given you two lectures about the definition concept of ecosystem. Now this is another way that Professor J.M. Gomes, he recognizes that 7 elements which are common to all the ecosystem and gives a new definition. So I thought this is a recent paper to share it with you. According to him, there are 7 common features which are present almost in all ecosystems: biodiversity, physical environment, hierarchy, interactivity, openness, homeoecostasis, evolutionary trend. You can see this in a star in this round figure. Biodiversity. This is the living part of the ecosystem as has been recognized by other ecologists also. So biodiversity is an essential component of all ecosystems. The cellular structural organisms fall into 3 groups: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. This classification distinguishes prokaryotic organisms into 2 different domains and excludes viruses because they are considered neither living nor dead bodies. What is the ecological importance of viruses? Because why Dr. Jaime is including viruses. Most ecological studies have overlooked the importance of viruses as major ecological agents in the dynamics of ecosystem. Viruses play a role in the evolution of the species. There are strong biological arguments supporting them as living organisms. Therefore, viruses should not or cannot be ignored for proper understanding how an ecosystem works, or you can say in the working of the ecosystem. Alternate approach, according to the Professor Jaime, is that an alternate approach is organizing biodiversity is the grouping of living entities or bodies in an acellular world, AW, prokaryotic world, designated by PW, and the eukaryotic world, that is designed as the symbol EW. These living worlds themselves occupy the physical environment. So physical environment is there, and these 3 worlds, they occur in the same physical environment, which the previous workers have also said. Such networks form complex ecological positive, negative, or neutral interactions. They say that when these 3 worlds they interact with each other, there can be positive relationship, negative relationship, or neutral relationship. Acellular world, AW, is mainly composed of viruses and also includes genetic elements such as virids, plasmids, or transpons. Although these elements, unlike viruses, should not be considered living beings. The PW, prokaryotic world, means prokaryotes grouped in the bacteria and archaea network, and EW is the nucleated or the nucleated organisms which are subdivided into autotrophs and heterotrophs, that means plants and animals. Environment, ENW. The environmental world represents the physical substrate which contains air, water, soil, sunlight, temperature, climate, minerals, on which all life processes depend. Organisms live in and modify their movement that provides a home for each species and promoting new adaptations. So new adaptations are there. There is a physical part of the ecosystem. Four components are recognized according to this approach. The EN, that is the environmental world, has four components for survival of the species. First is the solar energy. Definitely, it is the sun that is continuously pumping energy into the physical part or to our ecosystem. Second source is the water, which is again a universal solvent for all biochemical reactions, biological reaction changes. All items need to form biomolecules, which without water would not be possible. Third is the physical factors, as we said in the backslide, that light, temperature, gravity, day length, providing stimuli to the growth and development of living beings. Fourth is the physical environment that controls interactions, that controls the distribution of the species within the ecosystem. Now we come to another small definitions, habitat versus niche. Within the environmental world, the habitat is the place where an organism, a population, a community lives or thrives, whereas niche, which is a functional concept, describes the functional role of species within the ecosystem. The habitat is a place or a geographical area, geographical region, where species lives, while niche is how it lives or functions. That is the function of a species within the ecosystem. Habitats may be an open geographical area such as a forest, desert, sea, ocean, specific location like tree or animal. Their boundaries can differ in origin, spatial structure, and dynamics. Hierarchy, this is the third part of the definition, uh, including the virotrophs, which includes viruses. Hierarchy refers to the structure and organization of ecosystems in which every living thing has specific function. Every ecosystem has complex organized system in different hierarchical levels. This hierarchy is important for the emergence of new properties, the stability of the ecosystem, and for the maximum level of complexity. So, hierarchy creates complexity in an ecosystem. Hierarchy involves the transfer of energy and matter through autotrophs, heterotrophs, virotrophs, the latter being new category that includes viruses. Virotrophs means viruses. It is justified by the evolutionary and ecological relevance of virosphere. Virosphere is the sphere, the environment, the habitat where viruses are found. Hierarchy levels, trophic levels. Virotrophs are neither primary producer nor consumer or decomposer. So, virotrophs, they are neither producers like plants, they are neither consumers like animals, neither they are microbes like decomposer, but constantly they renew themselves, thus participating in the recycling of the organic matter. They also control bacterial populations, encoding auxiliary metabolic functions causing diseases and participating in the transfer of genetic material between species. Autotrophs, heterotrophs, virotrophs form the hierarchical trophic levels, levels one above the other. They generate food web within which there is a unidirectional flow of energy, recycling matter, and increase in the entropy. Interactivity, that is interaction, multiple interaction between the worlds, that is, their interactivity refers to the complex biotic-abiotic interaction taking place within the ecosystem. Such interactions are crucial for understanding ecosystem functions and ecosystem response to any human and environmental challenges or challenge. There are trophic inter- interactions, mutualistic interactions, positive or negative, symbiosis between intestinal bacteria and human being, or between nitrogen fixation in bacteria and legumes, competitive interactions of resources and parasitism. Let's say a brief few words about the life cycle of the virus, which is because we are including it, why this is necessary. The life cycle of virus is an example of interaction between the acellular world, environmental world, and PW. These acellular cellular interaction involve parasitic relationships. They are also an example of how horizontal genetic transmissions and biological warfare between virus and host that drives the evolution and adaptation of both species. Ecosystem with a food cycle, or biological examples representing feeding relationship among organisms all trophic level, and which are the interactions living being with the chemical processes in nature. Openness. Openness means how far these ecosystems are open, or they occur in an open situation. Openness means that organisms are open systems that exchange energy matter continuously with the environment to decrease internal entropy, maintain the vital order, but increase external entropy, thus satisfying the law of thermodynamics. Likewise, ecosystems are open systems in which four worlds are permanently interacting with each other in a dynamic equilibrium, exchanging matter and energy as shown in the figure 1 that would come next. In this permanent exchange, ecosystem is powered primarily by the sunlight. We have said that the sunlight is the permanent source which provides the energy to the entire ecosystem, biotic, abiotic, all the functions because of this solar. Openness means also heat and waste produced from ecosystem activity that increases the overall entropy of the universe. Carbon enters as carbon dioxide is converted into organic matter through photosynthesis, while respiration is returned while respiration returns carbon dioxide to the atmosphere via generating adenosine triphosphate, and through respiratory losses and heat, we can say that respiration is a pumping out disorder. The openness of ecosystem favors its development, and evolution serves to cover its energy needs, thus preventing its degradation and disappearance. Home, homeostasis. There are two words, homeostasis. Homeostasis simply means the capability of the ecosystem to return to its original position whenever there is a certain problem. This again is the same word but has been used as home ecosystem. Home ecostasis consists of resistance and resilience. The homeostasis is used to describe any process of self-regulation whereby biological system tends to maintain equilibrium and adjust to the conditions that are optimum for the survival. It denotes dynamic equilibrium, which is general property of all ecosystem. All ecosystem continuously adjust to biochemical changes, cycles, ecophysiological process, changes in species composition to reach to a steady state condition. Dr. Jaime proposed a new term, homeostasis. Homeostasis to refer all processes and mechanisms necessary to keep stability of ecosystem. Ecological resilience is defined as the amount of disturbance that an ecosystem can withstand without changing self-organized process and structure. Ecological resistance is the ability of an ecosystem to remain unchanged when subjected to stress disturbances. Resistance means to resist a change. Resilience means change may occur, but it would revert by self reactions processes and it would come stabilized. The homeo ecosystem refers specifically to the mechanism of resistance and resilience necessary to keep the homeostasis of ecosystem. It is measure of toughness and its ability to recover from natural causes or human intervention. When the homeostasis limits is exceeded, new pattern and process relationships are developed in complex system, thus creating the basis for innovation of new evolution. That is, I would say in उर्दू के हर एक की कुव्वत बर्दाश्त होती है. So when that limit is crossed, then the process will result in a new relationship in which it innovates and evolves a new system. It is critical to address the global change resulting from human activity and population growth, which is damaging natural resource and promoting the extinction of many species. Ecosystem evolution or evolutionary process. This is the seventh component which is present in all the ecosystem. Ecology and evolution are tightly linked through the reciprocal causal relationship connecting organisms to both biotic and abiotic component of their local environment. The composition of living world and physical world or physical environment change or evolve over time in response to major challenges or changes. Organisms evolve for better adaptation to new biotic and abiotic circumstances. So organisms which are a component of the ecosystem, they have an adaptation to the new situation. Ecosystems are dynamic in nature, that is, they keep on changing. Their, their characteristics can vary over time. So, dynamic changes over time. The ecosystem also evolves towards new stable states, and it is this evolutionary process that ultimately shapes the biodiversity and populates the ecosystem. Ecosystem must evolve, evolution must occur in response to strong natural disturbances or aggression of anthropogenic origin that exceed their homeoecostatic capacity. It is a challenge to understand the ecological and evolutionary dynamics together over a long time scale. Although there is no definitive ecological theory of ecosystem evolution, yet there are reciprocal causal relationship between biodiversity and the environmental change. Thank you very much.